Hello, everybody, and welcome to this new live stream that we're doing today. We're going to be talking about several things. It's going to be interesting if you've never um, installed anything like what we're going to do today, which is the Samba server. Just a server basically for sharing files locally. So thank you very much for those who are already connected. We're streaming on Twitch, by the way. We're doing it on Twitch, and we're also doing it on YouTube. We're not doing it anymore in any other platform because we noticed that it was a little weird the way that it was working out. So uh, just let me share the link in the group. Let me go here. Go ahead. There you go. So if you're already in the group, in the Telegram group, hacking group, go ahead. Uh, just look at the links that I'm providing there. Well, but if you're already here, maybe you've seen that before. So now that is actually what we're going to talk about. It's not going to be a very long live stream because I really want to go directly to the point. I don't want to waste a lot of time talking about nonsense. But what I really want to talk about today is what the hell is Samba? Samba. The Samba server, which is the open and implementation of SMB, which is a fire shell protocol. Uh, it is also a rhythm, musical rhythm. So whatever happens first, just let me say, yeah, I've already opened it. But obviously, like every single time that we talked about what we're in live stream, I've actually talked to you about what the hell is Ethergroup. So right here, if you go to ethergroup.mx, we're a Mexican company that provides MSP services as well as cybersecurity services. And there's a branch of our services which is dedicated to cloud. It's a low cost cloud. That means that uh, maybe you have an instance of Windows or Linux or several instances of your applications running in other environments, but we can actually do that as well. So if you go to ethercloud.mx, you would find that we have several things. This is actually going to change. We're going to be providing you access to a platform where you could actually deploy applications easily using our services. Now, if you need anything about it, help or whatever about or regarding this type of services, just go to send us an email to contacto@ethercloud.mx or ventas at ethercloud.mx, and we'll be so kind to help you out with that. Uh, Even though we're based in Mexico, we could provide services to any place around the world as long as you have internet connection and want human services. Everything is AI now, so we're trying to do this. Maybe go backwards a little bit, but no, we actually use AI for several things, several processes in our company, but I really like that touch of humanity. I've actually had an experience not that not that long ago, and it was about we were migrating some email server from a premise instance to cloud instance. So that was the point. But this cloud provider is one of the biggest cloud providers out there, and the support was actually horrible. First of all, the one of the things I have to say is that these people, I don't know, they think that you owe them a favor, like we say in Spanish. Uh, I don't know. That is just like that. Alfonso Arce, yes. Saturdays are only in English. That is because we've been putting the course in English. Nada más como dato, Alfonso, los sábados es el curso de servidores en inglés. Ya hay una versión de este curso en español grabada. Espero hacerla como en chunks más pequeños, pero sí, los sábados normalmente, mi estimado Alfonso. Gracias por estar aquí, primero que nada. Y segundo, sí, son en inglés. Digamos, es para tratar de llegar a otra audiencia en caso de que haya algún interés directo con esto, pero no importa si quieres preguntar algo sobre lo que estamos haciendo, con todo gusto del mundo, sin problema, te contesto en español. So, hi everybody, for those who are already connected. But yeah, let me explain what the hell is going on with this. Now, before going to Samba, I've already talked to you about a little bit about what Ethergroup is, what do we do, and I want to invite you to go to the newsletter. If you go to the site of Ethergroup MX, there's a little box right here where you could put your just drop your email. We'll contact you. That is not for spam you with things. It is actually to provide you with the blogs that we've written in the blog. So if you go to blog.ethergroup.mx, you could find a lot of things regarding technology or new things that are coming out. So go ahead. There are a lot of articles of different types. That is very good. You could translate it as well if that's what you need. For example, I don't know, translate it to English. Maybe you just go like that. That is the way you go around, and now you have it in English. So Google do it for you. So that is very good. And that's actually it. Uh, Show original. There you go. So if you want to go there, there's a lot of information. We've actually published a video in Spanish talking about MariaDB and how you could put a high availability cluster right there. That is very interesting because we've actually put a. If you go to YouTube.com, you search for Ethergroup, you will find that this type of implementation is for high availability. You have different nodes. You could put right there your databases, and they'll replicate automatically. So that was pretty good. If you need anything else about that, you have any doubts, we have actually done implementation of these services with several clusters. That is very good. Mario Zaragoza, hello people, greetings from El Paso. Saludos, Mr. Mario Zaragoza. I've actually loved every single time that you're here, my friend, and that is just a good thing. Now, like I said, we're going to be talking about today about Samba. Now, what Samba is? Let's get started with this part of the course, which is actually what this day specifically is in the week dedicated to the course. I'm sorry, I gotta laugh. Oh my god! Just wait a minute. The cables completely were completely crossed. There you go. So, well, going back to this. So we're going to be talking about a technology that's been out there for 33 years. Not everything is AI. You have to know that. And this is actually a basic implementation that we're going to be doing today about how to share folders. This comes from alternatives of things that were already done by Windows. For example, Samba is a protocol for sharing simple message. Simple message. I don't remember what's the acronym of this. Mm, so I don't remember what it stands for. The SMB. Simple message block. That is. I didn't remember that. That is a proprietary implementation of this technology, but Samba is the open source Libre or open source implementation of this. It has been growing throughout the years, and it actually helps you out when sharing folders in your network. What we're going to do today is just an implementation that has to do more with basic implementation of that. We're not gonna go very deep on how to implement this, for example, in a large environment. That is not what we're gonna do. But I'm going to show you the basics of that because this is the intention of this course. You know, to make and to be able to do this type of things, just as you would do in an implementation. So just let me do something very quick because I obviously don't have everything in my head and I have to open my notes. So just wait a second. And I'd like to say as well, if you're interested in me doing this course in Spanish, once again, because I already done that, but in a shorter format, that would be better, I guess. Just let me know, and I'll be so glad of sharing this type of information with you. So just let me go to there you go. Okay. Mm, there you go. So what is what we're going to do now? Samba, what it helps you out with is with sharing folders. Actually, that is the thing. You know, if you want to work out, I know that by now you have a lot of alternatives of sharing folders. But for example, we actually have a service where we provide Nextcloud implementation, professional Nextcloud implementations. So if you're interested in that, for example, we can do it. These implementations of Nextcloud are completely on your control. We help you out with all the infrastructure. You only worry about working and producing. So that is a very good alternative in terms of a cost, for example, because uh, I have to say something. Samba is one of the technologies that is used within, or SMB within the domain controller. Is a technology about domain controller. That means that you have a centralized database of users that is shared to other users, and that is the thing about it. That is the whole thing about it. But the real thing that comes with using this type of technology is that you don't have to pay for all those type of things. You can create your users. There are tools that help you out to manage users graphically, and there are other technologies that help you out to maintain those type of informations with your clients, or with your users in this case. Something I have to point out is this only covers Samba, only covers. There's a way to create a PDC, I guess, a domain controller, but we've actually tried to implement that, and that does not work. We pure Samba, that is actually what works, and I'm going to show you how to implement that in our Debian server because, as you may remember, we have let me see, we have the server Tartar Ether Cloud right here, and I don't know why it's not taking the password, but okay, there you go. Connection closed by I don't know who. I remember why. Because SSH Tartar, SSH Ether Cloud Access. Let me see if this one is the one that's gonna work. Because SSH. Let me go share it to you because you're not seeing anything. So SSH minus I Tartar. No. It's just Tartar. Tartar Ether Cloud at 172. No, I don't remember what's the IP of the server. Let me just take a look at this. So this is our server, and I've actually added more 30 10.40.30.1. That is 10.40.30.1. There you go. So yeah, we're actually in the server now. What we're going to be doing right here is I've actually I'm actually going to install in the server. What the previous video we talked about FTP, which is another way of sharing files, and through the network. But now we're going to be talking about these other implementation. This is just for share. You know, you go to your Windows PC, for example. I've actually taken this. This Windows PC is attached to the server. Let me enter this, and we're gonna create a. There you go. So I'm gonna ask later. This is just a Windows 7 implementation. That is it. Let me go and check. This is 10.40. Okay, there you go. What is this? So this is let me go like that. There you go. So yeah, I'm gonna ping google.com. We've actually served several services in the network, and this one is the one that we're gonna be using today. Now let me go ahead. 122.16, 215, 92, 8000, and go ahead and just look in the network. We have the Debian client, we have the Tartar, which is our server, and we're going to install in there our Samba service for sharing files. And I have this 10-tag machine and these windows. So now we're going to see an implementation where you could share files between Windows and Linux using the Samba protocol of sharing files in the network. Like I said, as long as we are just going ahead with this course, I'll be showing you different things about this. So how do you could implement this type of technology? Now, let me go ahead and start the configuration. I'll try to make a I'll ask my team to publish an article in the blog so you could take a look at the commands and everything. But you know, this is for this is meant to be for forever. Well, as long as YouTube exists. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm writing it in the server, but I'm going to escalate privileges to root because I need. Let me see. Oh, I'm not accessing the server. Why the hell not? I don't know why. It should be the password though. I don't tell me. Group. Yeah, why not? What is not? What is going on? Wait. I'm sure that was the password. What the hell happened? Oh, it should be as WD. The FTP server. About the root. Ah, there you go. The password was another one. And I remember why. Now I remember why. But yeah, so how do we install Samba and how does it work? Well, we actually have a server where we are going to place our files, and the users in the network that are getting internet from that server, from this one, are going to get an internet connection. So look at what is going on. So this little Windows machine has a oh, it is actually right here. This machine has an IP in our network of 30.8. The Debian client has another IP. Let me check. No, let me check IP minus CA. This has the 30.6. These are the things are because of I guess Docker is doing this, but the actual IPs and you could see with the command host name minus I, and you could see that this IP is the one that's getting 10.40.30.6, and the server has the 30.1, so they're all in the same network. Now, I'm gonna actually update the server. The first thing that you have to do every time, it is just update packages, not upgrading anything, because you may be breaking something if you don't know what you're doing. So right here, what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna install Samba, which is, like I said, the protocol or the service that we're gonna be installing. So for that, I'm gonna go with aptitude install. Minus Y you could do would be Samba dev, I guess, or Samba client, Samba common. That'll install the three services just right away, and everything is controlled just like every other service in Linux is controlled using a file in edit to config. Now, what am I going to do with that is I'm going to back up that file, because we're going to take we're going to modify several things in that file, and we don't want it to be broken. That is the most important thing. Chico 3X, thank you very much, my friend, for being here. I really appreciate that. I've not connected. I've haven't made streams in 2 weeks, I guess, but I've been publishing videos, and I really like that you guys are here. I don't know if Takinux is here. By the way, Takinux already told me that there are rubber duckies, no, Flipper Zeros available for Mexico. So I'm in the process of buying one. So let's see if it's still there. Now, let me go ahead and check for something. Now I have this folder named software, but I'm gonna create a folder. This is, if I print working directory, I'm in the root home, the home of the root, and I'm gonna create a folder named conf. And this folder named conf, mkdir conf, is going to help us out to back up our configuration files from the default. With the cp command, we could go to etc Samba, which is a directory in Debian at least, where it is going to be saved, or the configuration is going to be saved. We're going to go to cp etc Samba, and we're going to take the Samba or the smb.com, and we're going to copy here the dot. There's a little space here. The dot means where I am right now. That means at the root /root/com. Now, take a look at what is in the Samba, and there are all the possibilities. It is actually documentation of what the hell goes on. But I'm going to show you from the ground up how to do that. Now, look at that. We're going to create basically 3 folders. We're going to create a shared folder and an internal folder. That means that it's not going to be public. One is going to be public, and everyone in the network is going to be able to access it without any credentials. But we're going to create another one that is going to be accessed just by several people. So that means that we need to create users in the server, and that could be departments, for example. I don't know, IT, finance, administration, or whatever. That really depends on how the company is structured. That is the way that you would implement this. I hope that it is clear by now, but I'm gonna continue with this now. I'm gonna go directly to once we've already backed up this file. I'm gonna go to etc Samba, and right here I have several files. I'm gonna go ahead and echo nothing to the SMB conf. Why? Because I need it clean. I'm gonna create this from the ground up, and we have already backed up this file. So now let me go ahead and explain to you what happens in the file. There is a syntax that you have to, or a convenience that you need to follow. Otherwise, you're going to be lost in how this configuration is going to be working. Now, let me find that right here, because is right. It is actually, there you go. So the first thing is the global configuration. The global configuration is actually the place where we need to put what is going to be the server serving in this service. Remember that Samba works with two things, and I think I have not said that before. So the first one is Samba, and the other thing is, just let me copy this. No, it's not. Twitch. There you go. Copy this. Boom. Copy that. Go there. SMP. Oh, the NMB. No. NetBIOS. This is another protocol that is used, but the open implementation of this is NMB. So SMB and NMB. The NMB is the one that is going to help us out to find the name of the server in the network. That means that when we find a name or whatever, we would be seeing that name in the network. And that is what we need for this type of implementation. You know, this is an old implementation. I'm not saying that this has to be like that. No, it's just a basic implementation of files, and we need NetBIOS, and we also need the Samba server for this to work. Now, let me go ahead and what are we gonna drop into this file? The first one is we're gonna create a work group. Now, let me explain something. This work group is just the way that it is going to work, but it is not limited. I don't know if you knew this, but in Windows you're limited, or the way that it interacts. The work group is for equal or less than 5 users, I guess. Right here, it doesn't work like that. You could put just work group, and you could put in the group in that environment as many users as you wish. It is not limited by that. But if you actually have a big amount of people, I would consider logging in with something like OpenLDAP, which is another part of the Active Directory. But I'm not going to talk about that. That is like very advanced. But yeah, I would actually leave this, and I'm going to put this like Ethergroup. Let's say that this is an organization. This is our organization that we're going to be using for this example, which is Ethergroup. Now, what else do we need to put here? We need to put that the security that we're going to use is user. Why user? Because we need that the users authenticate. Yeah, check out the syntax. I was forgetting that. Now, the DNS proxy, we're not going to use any DNS proxy right here. Let me just type it like that, just for ordering things. And I'm going to say no. With the mean protocol, now there was a vulnerability, not well, it was in 2017. I don't know if you know this, but it is MS. I guess it's this one. Let me check this vulnerability. Look, 010. Which was used for WannaCry and many other implementation of this. But this vulnerability was actually used to exploit Windows services, and WannaCry was used with this in order to use these type of things. Now, I have to say that when WannaCry was getting out to the world, it was very interesting to see how they exploited this. And actually, the SMB server in Windows that had this vulnerability. Now, but that is actually something that has to do with the version 1 of Samba. Look at this. The SMB version is 1. There is another vulnerability, but I don't remember what's the name or the code where it was specified. But it actually did the same thing, but in Linux. That means that our server could be vulnerable if we don't take care of that. We just ignore that. So what I'm going to do here is in the configuration file, just, there are many other things that you have to take in count when you're implementing this in a professional environment. But I'm going to just leave you with the things that are normally used. Now, right here, what I'm going to do is the mean protocol. It is also to force the users to use that Samba. And you would see it with the Windows 7. Maybe it is not going to connect because the Service Pack 3, I guess, is the one that uses the Samba 1. But if that machine is hackable, you could go ahead and drop that information and get into the server or the Windows machine just in no time. So just taking care of that information. Take care of that information. Now, the main protocol will be SMB2, and the client mean protocol, it is going to be SMB2 as well. With this, it is just a basic implementation. Like I said, I'm not going to cover an advanced implementation of Samba or whatever. No, it's just a very normal. So this is a global config. Now, I'm going to create two different scenarios where one is going to be the shared folder and the other one is going to be internal. Now, or private. Let me call that private. No, private, yeah. Now, something I have to say. You could also share with Samba resources. Just to name a few, you could share printers. You could share any other resource that you have in your network that can be configured through Samba. You could do it like that. Now, it really depends on what you need to do, what your needs are. But in this case, the share folders right here. Let me just explain to you what goes on. I'm going to put right here path. I'm going to start with the shared file, just so you can see what happens. So let me go with path, and right here we need to create a folder in the server. But this time I have not created a folder with that name, so I will have to create that folder first, and then just continue with the configuration. But I'm gonna create a folder named Samba at the root of everything. This could be in a NAS, for example, that you mount on this server, so your information is over there. But for example, it's going to be Samba, and this is going to be shared. That means that everybody's going to be accessing this with no issue, or almost no issue. And I'm going to click this as browsable because we need to actually add permissions, specific permissions for this. I'm going to put yes. Writable, I'm going to put yes as well. That is, you could browse, you could write guest okay. This is very important. Yes. Right now, yes. Read only. I'm going to say no, because I want everybody to write on that folder and whatever. Now, this is very important because this is the name of the server. This is the security. This is the DNS proxy and the main protocol. This is our resource right here. Is our resource. And just about that, I'm going to leave it like that. And I'm going to just leave it open. That is it. That is everything I'm going to do. So look at this. After we've configured this, we need to restart the service. Systemctl. You could check if you want. There is a tool, but I don't remember what is it called. But you could check if the configuration file is okay. Let me see if I have that in a file. Just wait a second. So yeah, there is a tool. Just wait a minute. Now, I don't have in my notes, but there is a tool where you could actually do that. But yeah, I'm gonna add that. So let's first of all let's create that folder. I've actually said that that folder is at Samba shared. So I'm gonna create mkdir et Samba et shared. Now, very important permissions. Oh, sorry, minus P because all those folders don't exist. And I have to create, I have to actually provide chmod Samba. That'll be, let me see, let me go just with that 777. That is not right, but we need the users to write and read in those folders. So minus R, Samba, just so you could see what happens. Okay. Let me go ahead and go to root. You could see that there's a folder named Samba. Like I said, you could use more permission, but we're not going to cover that. I just want this to work. And look at this. I'm going to systemctl start SMB and NMB. And now systemctl status SMB and NMB. You could see that everything is working. And now that is very important. That is very important. How the hell do we access those resources? Well, let me go to the Windows the Windows client right here. Go here, go to the Windows, and let me take a look at this. Let me go ahead and check for the network. Maybe I will see maybe a server named Tartar. This is the server, the name of the server that we're providing. And it asks for an admin for password, user password. And accept that. It's not actually letting me. So the Tartar admin PC Tartar. Let me see. Let me see what goes on because and MB reading connections. Oh, there you go. App Armor. SMB shares. Let me see. Let me see if App Armor systemctl status App Armor service systemctl stop App Armor because I don't want it to be working. Because maybe it is going to stop us from connecting with this service. Systemctl restart SMB and MB. There you go. But it has to be open. Why the hell is it not opening? Ah, there you go. I guess I know why. Because I need to put 10.40.30.1 slash. No. It's actually not working like that. Start minus NTPL 30, 40, 40. There you go. So let me go to Samba. Shared. What are the permissions of this folder? Oh, Samba. Oh, there you go. chmod -r 777 to Samba. -alt. There you go. Now I should be able to log in. Or no. Or maybe not. Let me see. Go to Etsy Samba, smb.com, and security user, yes, but I guess I have to also add was the path shared? Was browsable? Yes. Was writable? Yes. Was guest okay? Yes. Was read only? No. And over here, let me just try and change several things over here. So the DNS proxy name, security user, NetBIOS name, map to guest user. Let me see. Map to guest. Let me see user. Server string, that's it. There you go. I guess it is because it is a Windows 7 machine. So let me go to the Windows 10 right here. I may be able to see what goes on with that folder because I told you that it needs Samba 2 at least. And I don't know if that machine has just let me check it out. Look at this. I should be able by now to access that folder though. So is everybody there? Okay, so let me go to the I'm gonna go right here. Yes, sir. That is good. So I'm just gonna go right here. Let me see. Oh, because it needs to activate the networks just to find that if the server is available or not. Or maybe I'm just gonna go like that with a counter slash 10.40.30.30.1 and see. Oh, it asks for credentials, but I don't know why. Remember my credentials. I don't need no credentials, bro. Look at that. Look at that. I guess it's because the security is user and it is going to let me, but as long as I have a user in there. I guess is that because look at that. Just let me just by up to guest. Let me see if that works. Restart SMB NMB. There you go. What says? Journal. Why you didn't like? Why you didn't like that? Failed. Guess is the comment. Yeah, maybe it's a comment. Yeah, there you go. Security. I'm gonna just go like that. No, it's not that. Security. User. I guess I do need to create a user because that folder is going to be like for everybody, but not everybody that is out there. just everybody that has a valid password, and everybody's going to be able to write that. So I'm going to do something else before continuing. I need to create the user, actually. We need to create a user in Unix, and then we need to port it to Samba. I'm gonna tell you how to do that. So I'm gonna add user. It's not gonna have a login, so just put that. Let me add user anon, for example. So anon is gonna be minus m minus s. Just wait a second. Oh, I was getting out a file over here. So so let me add user add minus s spin no login and I'm gonna add, for example, let's say a company name, for example, user add, group add, and this is going to be group name. For example, we're going to call it Ethergroup, yeah, and right there we're going to user add, okay, minus s, and with this command, what I'm going to do is spin the login. The spin no login is not going to allow the user to access the server. And I'm going to add this username, for example, let's say anon, yeah. And I'm going to add that user to the whole group. In this case, Ethergroup. That user is created. Now I have to create the SMB password. The SMB password command will create that user in Samba. So the user exists now in Unix, which we could see just in the etc passwd file. You could see that the user exists. It has a folder, but it cannot log into the system. But SMB passwd, what it will do is will create a user in Samba, which is different. Now, I'm going to add, with the minus a command, the username. In this case, the username is anon. And pattern. Can't load Samba, run test pattern. Oh, test param is the one that, test param. Let's see Samba. Samba SMB. Warning, ignoring value user for parameter map to guest. Error loading services. Let me see it. See, before that, SMB conf security user map to guest. Oh, so this is a problem. Go like that. That's power. NTML loaded service file. Okay, yeah. Test param is just to check if everything is okay with your file. Read only no. There you go. Okay. Systemctl restart. SMB, NMB. There you go. Now, let me go with the Samba password anon. I'm going to add that user. I need to add a password. And I need to enable that user with SMB password as well. SMB password E to enable the user anon. Now, with that, I now have SMB password, I guess, with the L command, I guess. It shows everything. Oh, no. just like that. So look at that. Now we are going to go to the folder once again, or just to look out for the server. You cannot access that. Now it says you cannot access that. Etsy, Samba, SMB.com. Look at that. Main protocol, DNS, security users, Samba shared, browsable, yes. So system, CTL, restart, SMB, NMB. There you go. System CTL status, SMB. So sources, Debian started. That is everything. And the NMB, what about the NMB? It has started. Just like that. No force group, no nothing. Now let me try it from this machine, from this local machine, because shared SMB, maybe you'll find that admin PC and the other one. What about the other server? Let me add the NetBIOS name to the server. Maybe that is missing. So Etsy, Samba, SMB.com. Let me go right here. Let me add the name of the server. Go with the NetBIOS name. The NetBIOS name, I'm gonna call it Debian. Let's see if that works. Systemctl restart SMB NMB. And let me see if that works. Network, shared, sort by name. It's just not working, huh? Let's see what the hell's going on. Hi, Amir. Hi. How you doing, Mr. Edwin? From those times that you just connect. Having trouble, people, and I don't know what the hell is going on with this. Admin PC, no, this is not what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for, let me see, 10.40.30.1. Oh, there you go. There it is. I don't know what the hell is going on with Windows, but there's nothing right here. So so the folder is right there. It is actually working. I was worrying because it did not connect, and I don't know why. It says that 40.30.1. Maybe this one does not have that available, but I guess it will have to. Let me see, because it is there in the network. I mean, the server is there. Oh, it is actually asking for credentials. Okay, there you go. So Samba, I guess it's shared only. Like that. Well, Anon, for example, and the password. And there you go. The user is actually there. So there's nothing in the folder because we haven't pasted anything in the folder. That was very weird, but okay. So I'm gonna create, for example, I have this test file. I'm gonna create it right here in the folder. I should be able to paste it. There you go. And the user now should be able to see that file. Now I can share those files in the network as long as they're available there. Now, for example, I could share, I don't know, maybe I want to share, I don't know, maybe go to What could we do? What could we do? QEMU, for example, QEMU. QEMU binary for Windows. I don't know. Maybe I'm the admin right here, and I want to share this to everybody in my organization. Now, let me download that. Let me see if I've the Windows version. There you go. So the 64 version, for example, of QEMU. This one is the one I'm gonna download. I'm just gonna download it like that. 177. I thought it was gonna be lighter. I don't know. Putty, for example. Putty. SSH free. Download Putty. I'm gonna download it here. This machine, just so the other machine could be able to download it or see it or whatever. What the hell? It's taking too much time. So is everybody following? Hey, as in every stream, we have bots. that is very weird. So, hey man, what the hell goes on? Just want you to download this file. Let me see, for example, I don't know what else can I download. Just a binary. Let me see, just the QEMU. Just the QEMU. Doesn't matter. Just wait for it to download. You could share it with your people, but it is basically that you could share files with the teams. Now, there is something interesting about this. You have to be able to share those files, but also to restrict people from accessing several files, and that is what we're going to do now. Let me go to the Beam etc Samba SMB call. Right here, I'm going to add another block, and this one is going to be for the private one, or specific people only. And for that, I'll need something bigger, I guess, because I'll need to create a group for that. Just wait a minute. There you go. For this, I'll need to create another share, but this is going to be just for every user. This private or limited file is going to be in the path. It would be the same path as the other Samba, but now this is going to be named private. Now, take a look. I actually maintain the same name, private. What you'll see is this. You won't see the route. You will see this. Now, that is very important to keep that, just to follow up. Now, the valid users, this is a very interesting thing to do, because you don't want anyone to access this. Now, I'm going to add another user, which is going to be named private one. For example, that is a user. We're going to create that user from the ground up, and we're going to add access to a group. And to do that, we're just going to add whatever name of the group is. For example, private. Okay. So every user that is in that group, we could just leave it like that. They'll be able to access this. Now, writable. I'm gonna put yes. Browsable. I'm gonna be with yes as well. Guest okay. In this case, we're gonna leave it with no, because we don't want them to access that. Oh, guest okay, I guess. That is why it's, yeah, no. And we could create that now. With this in the line, let me do something. I'm gonna create those groups and users now. Group add, and I'm gonna create what is the name? Private. Group add and user add as well, -m, -s, has been no login. SMB no login. This user is going to be named private one. Okay, and it is going to be part of private. There you go. So now SMB passwd, just to change the password when I add that user, private, private one. And with that is a private user, and we're going to enable that user as well. There you go. So now we have a group. We have for example, if I do su private one, oh, it's not accessible, but that user ID groups, you could see that private is part of private, the private one. Now I'm going to go ahead and let's see again with the with the Samba SMB conf. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to take that out. I'm going to just leave the group just to show you the proof of concept of this. Now that user or this this machine has accessed that, and I'm going to create a folder actually. mkdir -p to, and this is very tricky. This is different than what we have done because we're going to give access to that group and root, both of them. Now, mkdir -p, Samba, private, and also chown. Chown is for changing ownership, and the chown will be for root and private of the folder Samba private, just like that. Now that means if I list Samba, you could see that now that private, it belongs to that. Now chmod 770 2 would be Samba private. Now you could see there you go, that that only the proprietary, in this case root, and the groups are able to do everything in that folder. Not everybody. Not everybody's able to write into that. Now, I'm going to do that and actually restart the service. Systemctl restart. SMB, NMB. There you go. Everything's okay. Now you'll see that something has changed. I'm going to go right here and I'm going to look for the server with SMB. God. Go to the network, just share folders, and I'm going to go 10.40.30.30.1, and I could see both of them. This one I can get into and write and do whatever I want, but in this one, it is actually going to say, no, I need an access for this. And I'm going to use the user private one with the password I provided. And I should be able now to write into this. And what am I going to paste in there? I'm going to paste what I've downloaded, which is the QEMU, for example. I'm just going to copy that into the server, and I can copy it into that. And I can see this. And you could see that the Windows user over here that was logged in with the he was logged in with the let me see with the anon, it is not able to write into that folder because it doesn't have permission to do that. See, network, Hey man, what the hell? What the hell's going on? I know it happens from time to time. Let me see. Now this user, the Windows user, you can see the tartar. It's gonna ask for a user password, I guess. No, I guess this one's not gonna enter because it doesn't have permission. But this user, the WinTech user, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what the hell is going on with this. Let me reboot this machine because just to see that the other user is not shut down. There you go. So yeah, we're actually finishing this. We're ending up this live stream. Maybe I'm gonna change the way that this is working, and I'm gonna do it just in short videos because it is taking some time, and we've actually worked a lot in sharing these videos, and I guess it is not that good just to do all this. But I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do all these labs in videos, short videos, instead of this. So every time that we connect, just we could talk. That is all. That is everything. Let me see. Now, this user, the one that I'm logged in with, he can actually see the other folder and open the files and everything. But this other user, the one that does not have permission to access private, I guess private one, this one has access, but the other one, no. Won't be able to access this resource. There you go. Come on, man. Hmm. What the hell is going on? There you go, just to finish this. There you go. Now, let me check what is going to happen. It is taking time. It's taking so much time, this thing. Okay, just let me go ahead and try to access that resource again. There you go, shared. It's gonna ask me for a user. Windows saves the login, so let me go to private one or with Anon, because what I want to show you is that the permissions are separated. I can see this, and if I go to shared, just if I go like that, I could see the private folder, but I cannot enter. This is going to ask me for credentials. And right here, I actually can get in, but not with this one. For this one, I need all the permissions. But if I get in there with private one, let's say, I could now maybe, because I think that it has the other account. For that, just let me CMD. Just let me go log in as admin and net use. Net use all. Net use all/all. I don't remember how to do this, but I will have to forget those credentials if I want to get into that resource. That is the point. You cannot get into a resource that you have not control of. Private one, and no. So with that, you could see that we could seclude different departments or different areas in a company just as you wish. But that is the thing, just getting there. Remember the password, for example, for this private one, the password, and that's it. And there you go. Everything is working now with the Samba server, and that is how you implement a simple Samba server out of nowhere. And that is actually it, I guess. So I have to say thank you very much for being in the live stream. I really appreciate that you guys connect every single time I can make this live streams. It has been a bit more complicated because we've been working a lot with new projects, and I'm going to be talking about that just in no time. You'd see. But thank you for being here, Mr. Chico, Mr. Taquinux, Mr. Alfonso, Julie, Mario Zaragoza, Edwin, everybody. Thank you very much. This is for the rest of the life, and I really appreciate that you're here. So thank you very much. Drink coffee, not that much because we'll just get crazy in no time, and we'll see each other at Ragnarok. Goodbye.